It's only been 4 days since Joe Biden was projected to be the next president of the United States, but the legal challenges are piling up around the country.
President Trump's attorneys have been filing lawsuit after lawsuit in key states, and it can be tough to keep track of them, especially because several got thrown out quickly after they got to court.
Yeah, so let's try to get a reality check on all of this right now. And who better to discuss than attorney Paul Cambria, a friend of the show and of Channel 2. Paul, it is always good to see you. Thanks for coming on again.
Great to be here.
So, Paul, I want to start with the big picture here. What is your sense of the overall approach of these lawsuits? Legally speaking, is it a winning strategy?
Well, no, I don't think that there's any chance of any success here at all. Or even if they have minor success, it won't change the outcome of the election. And it looks like they're just taking everything they can think of and hoping that something sticks. But I haven't seen any, evidence, if you will, other than accusations and claims, evidence of voter fraud or some kind of irregularity.
Paul, let's talk about one state in particular, because we mentioned that some of these lawsuits are happening in various states all over the country. But of course, we have a particular focus down in Pennsylvania. We have viewers watching us right now from the Commonwealth. President-elect Biden leading there right now, I think almost 150,000 votes. Lawyers for the president are trying to make the case against some of the mail-in ballots there. But what should we know about what's happening in Pennsylvania? And even if one of these lawsuits is successful, isn't the margin there just too large to overcome?
Yeah, it looks like if you look at the percentages and you look at what Trump tallied there in the last election, Biden is overshadowing that. But one of the arguments that they're making is an equal protection argument, which is really just has no chance. Equal protection applies to people, not ballots. And here the people were given an equal opportunity to either vote by mail or to vote in person. The courts are going to ask the Trump lawyers, you knew about these rules before the election. Why didn't you challenge them then? Are you going to challenge the same rules in the states you won in as opposed to the ones you lost in? Those questions will be asked. And even if they made such a challenge, it would never stand up under equal protection. It's just not there. But any kind of success here is not going to take that election and turn it around. It just historically, it's never been that way. And percentage-wise, the trends are higher in the Biden camp than they are in the Trump camp.
And Paul, a lot of people see the litigation and the calls for recounts, and they have flashbacks to 2000 and the Bush-Gore election. Of course, everything is different this time, but if we limit it to just the legal aspects, what are the main differences?
Well, the big difference in that election was that they had physical evidence of these so-called chads. Remember, they got into, is it a hanging chad? Is it a chad that was pulled down all the way and someone was selected? So they got into that kind of situation. They actually had some evidence there. They had hearings, they had a record, and it eventually went to the Supreme Court as a review of Florida's highest court. So it's a whole different thing. There was actual proof there. So far here, there have been allegations and nothing to support them.
Hey, Paul, only about 30 seconds left, but we're hearing some of these allegations of voter fraud made on Twitter or made on TV, but not seeing them in court documents. Why is that?
Yeah, well, that's because on the federal system, particularly when you go in and advance something, the court holds you to that. I mean, even if you don't swear, you are swearing by simply making the allegation. And for frivolous allegations, you can be sanctioned in federal court. So lawyers are not, ready and eager to make outlandish accusations.
As always, we appreciate it. Attorney Paul Cambria has been our guest. Thank you, Paul.
My pleasure.
Good to see you. All right, thanks everybody for watching on this Wednesday night. Remember to keep reaching out. Our text line is 849-2200.